everybody. This is Love and the Sparkle with Cindy. Um, it's a nice afternoon. It's chilly, but it's nice. And I'm going to work a little bit on Mad Kitty. So I'll put my glasses where I can see the symbols. And I think I can see them without it. Get used to focusing. And unfortunately, I have ran out of E310. Contacted DAC. They got it in the mail. So I'm just kind of working around it and I'll cover it up. But I was like, oh no, I knew I was going to because I was getting so low. And so I'll just cover it and put cover reminders all over it to hold it down. And go back through and add it in. Hi, Rose. Good morning. Just thought I'd pop on here for a little bit. I couldn't see anyone on, so I made my own. Still working on my little Mad Kitty. Hi, Jenny. I figured out the trick for these without tearing up my nails. Oh, man. Morning coffee. I'm doing tea. I have a sore throat today. So I'm doing tea. I got that phone call this morning. Now my grandson is positive. And I know their whole family. And I told his mom, I said, y'all probably have it because y'all been sick. And so I told her just, keep them hydrated, take care of the symptoms, keep them away from people. I vaguely remember that phone call this morning. It's like, my gosh. Knew there was a reason why I do not want to go outside. And I'm kind of glad because they were supposed to have come up last week. And so I am so glad that they did not come up because he was probably contagious then and I would have caught it. And I don't want that stuff. I know when I was working as a nurse, and I don't, how do I say this? I'm not against the vaccine because it's the vaccine. I'm against how fast they pushed it out without studying the long range effects of it. I mean, there's a lot of things that they gave our parents back in the 60s that caused issues that they didn't find out until late 70s, early 80s. So it's like, yeah, we have no idea what effect this is going to have on our children's children and things like that. So I wasn't real thrilled about the vaccine. And I held out for a long time. And then, I guess that last one that came, not this one, but the one before, they always stuck me back in the unit because I had the most experience because I used to be an ICU nurse. And so they stuck me back there, which really affected me mentally. And watching that, because that was the worst one we've had. The rest of them all been like bad colds, flus. This one's kind of like bad colds, but the last one was really bad. It terrified me so bad. I told myself, I'm scared of the vaccine, but I'm freaking terrified of this. And I actually went and got the vaccine. And now I got a couple of joints that are all swollen up and painful since then. And I got one area on a leg that has no feeling. And that's all since the vaccine. Yep, that's the one. Delta terrified me. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I was terrified. Out of 30 years of nursing, I had never seen anything knock down a person, take out a person in 12 to 18 hours. And I've seen some sick people. But I was like, okay, I'm scared of that, but I'm terrified of that. And since then, I've got two joints that they'll swell up and they hurt so bad. And it started 2 weeks after the vaccine. I got one area on one leg that's just numb. I can scratch it and it feels weird. And no, they didn't give my shot in the leg, but that's where those, what did my doctor call them? The inflammatory indicators. He said that's just where they landed. And of course, you sign that little paper saying, "Oh, we can't come back on you if this don't do it." And now I'm kind of glad I got kicked out, where I can't work as a nurse because of health reasons, because they're mandating that you take every one they pump out, or you get fired. Yeah, I'm not going to take the booster. I'm kind of scared of what it's going to do because hi, Nana. I'm just, yeah, because those two knocked me down so bad. They say, "Oh, they don't do that much to you." I had debilitating headaches. I couldn't get off the couch for 2, 3 days. I had to be off work. I mean, evidently they do something to you. I'll just keep my little booty at home and stay out of where people are very populated. I love to paint. I'll just sit here and paint. I call it painting, it's with little beads. But it was like, oh my Lord. Oh, and Jenny, I finally figured out how to sign into my account. So now when I order, I'll just sign into my account because I signed into my account and looked, and it doesn't show I have any orders. And we know I did that one the other day because I wanted to get it in before the Chinese decided to go. Yeah, my daughter is not giving it to my granddaughter because she has been noticing that with a lot of her friends that have little girls who have just started their cycles and had their cycles regularly and then got the vaccine or the jab. And when they got the jab, their cycle stopped. Okay. I was just wondering because I was like, what? I know I ordered it, but I can't find it anywhere. But yeah, so she's like, I'm not, because she goes, I have no clue what effect that's going to have on her 10 years down the road. And that's what a lot of these people aren't thinking of. And it doesn't stop you from getting it, doesn't stop you from spreading it. So everyone I know that has it right now has been double vaccinated. So it's like, hey, well, kind of a mute point. Very scatty. Kind of reminds me of some TV shows I watched in the past. I don't know if y'all watched back in the, oh, what is it, 90s? Thinking it was 90s, where they had a lot of shows that were like that. They had Virus and, you know, Outbreak. Yeah, I would not take the risk with Kinsey. And I think the only reason they're pushing it so hard is because they put so much money in it. And like, I don't know, the people I've seen, they're staying home. They're asking me what to do. And I told them as long as they stay hydrated, don't let themselves get dehydrated. They take their zinc and vitamin D and aspirin, whether they feel like it or not. After about a week, they'll start to feel better. I've gotten where I don't believe anything the government says. Of course, I'm ex-military, so I know how that goes. They tell you one thing and do a total opposite. I mean, the only thing that bugs me about this one is even when you catch it after the shot, you still become a long hauler. So many people have still got residual symptoms. And that's crazy. And you go in a store now and you try to find zinc, good luck. When I did that little shopping thing the other day, you noticed that there was 2 bottles on the shelf. I grabbed one, and the worker that helped me find it grabbed one, and that was it. And then I told her, if you can't find that, go get some Coldies, if that's still on the shelf, unless people have figured that one out. But that's why Coldies work so well. You know, they told you to take that Coldies tablet. It had zinc in it. So how's y'all's weather over there? I know y'all are in summer, right? Not getting too hot yet, is it? What's this one? And I don't know what's with their plastic, but it keeps, even the side that's supposed to stick doesn't want to come up. Sunshine and hot. Oh, I don't like bloody hot. I'm not a bloody hot person. Yeah. I'm not a freezing cold person either, but I don't like bloody hot because you can only take so many clothes off. And I don't look good naked anyway. Yeah, I'm kind of in my PJs too. It's just you can't tell because it's a purple top. And I got my hair down. You know, it's tons of, let's see this side. I got tons of hair. I got hair that goes forever and ever and ever. Super thick and lots of it. I used to have a doctor I worked for. Hi, Jeremy. I used to have a doctor I worked for, and I worked in the ER, and he nicknamed me Big Hair. So instead of, saying, "Hey, Cindy, come here," he would go with, "Hey, Big Hair, come here." I knew who he was talking about because it was actually bigger back then. It was like, oh my God. I used to have to buy these big contraptions trying to contain it. Let's see if the keys. Yeah, unless I have to go outside and people, I stay in PJs. I even walk across the road to my dad's in my PJs. I don't do it as much since the squatter moved in, but before the squatter came, I did it regularly. No. Yeah. I can't believe it's already it's almost 3:30 in the afternoon here. Hey, Jenny and Rose, are you doing a live tonight? Oh, I bet. I mean, Rose, I feel so bad for you for your hives. And they don't go away? That is horrible. I would be absolutely miserable. I saw someone else at the jab did that too, and they showed their arm, and it was just nothing but big raised rash. That's a horrible thought that it don't go away. And I imagine your doctor's fighting you tooth and nail on trying to find out what it's actually from. Okay, yay! I have visitors. Oh man, that is awful. That's kind of like those two joints that swelled up. My doctor didn't want to touch those with a 10-foot pole. And the only bad thing is, I mean, it's basically your experimental. And I mean, I did hold out till it was approved, so it's you got a little more backing, but it'll be years before anyone gets anything from anything it did. I have a girlfriend that she took the H1N1 vaccine when it first came out. She was a nurse and her work made her take it and everything. And it demyelinated all of her myelin sheaths. She got paralyzed for a while. She's finally got to where she can do some things, but then she'll have relapses where she can't do anything. And that just, and I think it's been almost 10 years and they are just now contacted her and said, oh yeah, will acknowledge now that there was something wrong with that lot and help with your coverage and your care. But up until now, they have flat out wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole, no matter how much she tried to get help. But I mean, she literally almost died. I think the only reason she didn't is because she's like us and she's stubborn. And so when they told her she would never walk again and she would be paralyzed and probably die, she went, oh, hell no. And, was able to get up and function. That's just like me. I was told when I went back to work by a friend, as I worked for the guy who did the initial mess up. And she said, he was told by that doctor that did that to you that you would never work again. And oh yeah, they're covering up everything. They don't want it out there. They do not want it out there, just like with mine, with what they did to me. I mean, it took me 6 months to be able to walk and use my right arm. And I mean, I did it on my own. I kind of rehabbed myself. That's one thing. I had to stay with my dad for a while. That's one thing about those one single wide trailers. You got that long haul. And I would just get in the middle of that hall and try to walk and just bounce off the walls and just do that all day. And that's how I relearned to walk, that I could not walk. And unfortunately, the guy who told me what was wrong did not actually put in there the charting, because now it's all point click and you don't have to really describe anything. And so, and he had told me it was because they waited overnight and left that blood clot on the nerve. And so the nerve had gotten injured and that could take up to 6 months for it to fix itself if it was going to. Because it was like if I stood up, I'd go to turn and take off and I just hit the floor. So I couldn't walk. I couldn't use my right arm. So it's, yeah, I'm telling you, don't trust them and stand up for yourself. Because if you just say, oh, okay, they'll just blow you off. You got to get in their face and make them hear you. Yeah, you see all about, get the vaccine, but the minute someone puts up on anywhere about what's occurred to them with the vaccine, have you noticed how fast that fact checker false info comes up? It's like instantaneous. I was like, wow, you gone. And so many people are brainwashed by the government that they believe whatever the media puts out there, even though you can sit there and watch the media say one thing one day and the total opposite the next day. I'd rather watch the media on YouTube and watch the media from other countries. You get a little better information. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't done the booster, and now they're talking another one, which is crazy. And then they're talking about adding it to the flu shot. I was like, y'all just gonna make people extinct. What was so funny was when it first came up. No, no, none of them listen. None of them listen. They do not listen nowadays. They're in their little head. You're just like a little droning noise in the background. And unless you say, stop, look at me, listen to me, you've got to listen to me, um, they just kind of blow you off. I mean, even mine, who's really good, was kind of blowing me off, like I was just whining about my abdomen for no reason until I went to a doctor where I worked, who was a student of the top specialist for it in the state. So she sent me to her, and then when she was writing in her charting that I should not ever work again, that I would not probably ever be 100% fixed, and yada yada. Then my doctor was like singing a different tune. But they get so many people that are seekers and, you know, hypochondriacs that they just get to where they don't listen to anybody. It's all about, nope, not listening. Yep, that's it. You swear at them, they'll listen. Or you act a fool. I mean, I'm not one for acting a fool, but I was hurting so bad and I was working with it and I was really hurting. And I mean, I'll show you a picture sometime, but yeah, I had the hernia weighed about 10, 15 pounds and it was outside and I had to carry it. And I literally went in there and he was like, well, are we doing okay today? And I went, no, I am not okay today. I am not all right. And then I just started bawling and being awful. And Jeremy, you may have to get someone that can look at you with different eyes. And if you have anything that is affecting you and you have to deal with it on a daily basis, there does come a time to when you're not able to no more. I mean, there does come a time where you've been chugging along. I worked with this for 2.5 years. And then finally, I mean, I was working with level 7, 8 pain all the time. And I finally said, I can't do this anymore. Hi, Sarah. So, look around, maybe talk to your dad, because I know you said your dad had work done. And if it's a different doctor, but get a doctor that can look at you with fresh eyes and not say, oh, this is Jeremy, I know everything about him. Um, I'm just, yeah, and find someone that's new. Because I did that. I had a bad gallbladder where I was rolling around on the hospital floor, and they were like, if you're rolling on this floor, something's really wrong. And I went to the doctor I'd had for years. And he took the ultrasound, he ordered it, and was just kind of blowing me off. And he never contacted me back with the results. And I was back in the ER having a full-blown attack to where the ER doctor, he was kind of blowing me off because I'm covered in tats on my back. So he was like, yeah, this woman. And I was just like, I had this test done 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard anything. Hey, let me go look. He come back and he said, do you want more medicine? And you have an appointment tomorrow with the surgeon. So after that, I just kind of fired my doctor. I was like, I love you to death, but yeah, we're not going to do that. I fired my mom's doctor and she didn't want to get rid of him. And I finally just called him up and said, you're fired. Especially if you're in your 40s and you've had him all your life, he is probably getting to the age that he probably doesn't need to be practicing, truthfully. I mean, because my mom's doctor was rocking 70 and she was like, I've had him for this long. And I was like, Mom, you've had him for this many years and you're this old and he was the same age as you. So he's that old? No, I said, he damn near killed you. I mean, yeah, it was bad. If you had the growth hormone, that means your bone structure was probably changed. You probably need one. It probably caused some issues with that ball and joint placement. That's like my dad's 76 right now, and he needs a knee replacement. And the VA keeps telling him he needs a replacement. They send him to this other hospital to see the surgeon, and he's like, oh, no, it's just arthritis. Take ibuprofen. The man's limping. And he's one of those that he won't fight for his rights, and he won't let me fight for his rights because if I try, then I'm trying to take over his life. Just, his feeling on it. So it's like, what can you do? I mean, unfortunately, whenever they're that way, if they think if you're trying to, you know, make them go or do something that you're trying to control them, I just sit back and say, okay, be careful, don't fall. Yeah, they don't think we know anything. At least the one I have now knows that I know something. I can actually call him, tell him something, and he says, "Well, I've got to see you because it was a hospital I worked under thing." But yeah, come on in, and I'll get it for you. Hi, Diamond Queen. Oh no, why are you depressed? Don't tell me, doctor, because that's what we're complaining about. That's right, Jeremy, because I haven't worked since September because I had to have that surgery, and then when she was in there, she found what the major problem was, and she was like, yeah, this is where you're gonna be." And so this is all I've been allowed to do. I can't even vacuum yet. I'm still under restrictions. So just get you some paintings and some wood, and then get you a setup like I'm on my couch, and just get you a setup that you can do it on your couch, and then just hang out on your couch. Oh no, I'm sorry, Diamond Queen. That does bite. Yeah, but always, if you don't like what one doctor tells you or does, you go to another one. I mean, as an ex-healthcare professional, I hate to say that, but yeah. And of course, after I had my little incident, I got to be very advocate for patients. And if they would be trying to order stuff that really wasn't appropriate, I'd be like, oh, no, no, no. Unless you're planning on paying their bill, they're not going to be able to do that. You can't order every test under the sun. You know, if you said anything about it occurring after the vaccine, that is probably what's putting them where they didn't want to do anything or accept it, because it seems like all healthcare doesn't want to accept that that vaccine may not be all they wrapped it up to be. And it has probably made your body start attacking itself. I can believe that. That's probably what's in my leg. And that may be what's around my joints, because it's not like, it's like when you touch the skin, it hurts. I mean, it's really weird, but it's quite painful, and it goes and it comes, and some days it's worse and some days it's better. And then you have people who are like, oh no, you wouldn't do that. I was like, yeah, I hear you. I feel sorry for healthcare now, because there are some nurses that are dead set against the vaccine. They're not going to get the vaccine. They'll go work at Walmart before they'll get that vaccine. And in the US, they got rid of the mandate that any workforce had to have the vaccine. But if you're healthcare, you cannot work in in a healthcare setting without having the vaccines. Okay, Jeremy, get your work done, do some lurking. But yeah, I mean, just stand up for your rights and yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. I mean, unless you're a kid and your parent does, but don't think, oh, the doctor will, or yeah, they won't. I mean, I stood up for patients and almost got fired for it. But pretty soon we're not going to have any healthcare workers, because the ones, I mean, they're short already. And now they're going to fire the ones who aren't vaccinated or won't get vaccinated. So I don't know who they expect to take care of patients. So it's in an hour and a half. Ah, okay, that'll be 5 o'clock my time. I don't know where you're at, Nana, but that's 5 o'clock Central Time. Tell Kenzie hi. Give her some loving. Hopefully she's feeling a little better today. I know she was feeling pretty yucky yesterday. Bye, Jenny. Take care. And I would definitely see you on your lives. Now that I've definitely decided I wanted to be up, I finally come out of the bedroom. Oh yeah, they're in a shortage, and then they're going to tell them that if you don't get the vaccines, you can't work. I calculated it'd be 5 o'clock. I'm in Central Time. I'm in Arkansas. I mean, they literally said that if your healthcare, what it is, it's not so much that they're saying that OSHA's mandating they take the vaccine. What they've done is Medicaid and Medicare have said they will not pay hospitals or nursing homes any funds unless all of their employees are vaccinated. And so when it comes down to money, they were like, well, we'll lose money. No, you got to get your vaccine or leave. And there was this big um, video we had to watch from the CEO and CFO, and yeah. So I can see people going out stage left. Yeah, that one in the back, they put it in the in between the joints and the disc. And then what they do is they put lidocaine and stuff in there, and it'll actually numb it for so long. Some people it works really good, like Mrs. Coffee's husband. It has worked wonderful for him. My mom, the first shot did okay, and then after that, it didn't. So she ended up having to have the surgery. But some people, the shots work really good. It also depends on how good your doctor is in placement. Because that one sounds like she had like a pinched nerve, and those are awful. Kind of sciatic stuff. Hi, Christopher. Nice to see you in here. Yeah, I went on and I didn't see anybody on, so I thought I'm just gonna pop on. I feel like talking to somebody other than my dogs. Because usually that's what I'm talking to. Yeah, that sucks. Mine, I don't think would work because when I go get my teeth worked on, he has to go to the highest level of the Novocaine, which of course the first time we did it ended up being about 7 shots because every shot took another shot to say, oh, that one didn't work. Oh yeah. If it was her pain that was hitting that nerve, I mean her joint that was grinding on that nerve, yeah, the only thing that was going to stop that pain would be a hip replacement. But yeah, with me and Novocaine, I have to get so much of it that by the time it finally works, I mean, I was almost gagging and suffocating on my saliva because it had numbed it so much I couldn't swallow. But it didn't do it until the very end. So I don't think the shot would really work because I would have to get so much of it that I'd probably get where I couldn't walk. And that's a scary, scary thought. Oh, and if anyone has Mad Kitty and you're thinking about working on Mad Kitty, um, I ran out of the black, glow in the dark, contacted them, they're sending them. But when you're working on and if they start to look like they're getting kind of low on you, I got down to a quarter of the painting left and still I'm out. Yeah, I always do the laughing gas. And redheads bleed more. Bleed like nobody's business. I mean, and I've always been that way. And then my daughter was that way when gave birth. She bled so bad. And then right now, and I'm not joking, I sit there and watch this. My jaw was like on the ground because I'm working with all these new nurses. And guess what they're watching to get their nursing tips? I have a Rocky. I named him Rocky because he got shot. He got ran over. Both of his back hips were broke. And he came back and he's still doing fine. And then I have Tommy, who the doctor took and then gave back because his wife was terrified of anything. Yeah. And then I have my Taz, and my Taz has red hair like me. He runs like the wind, and he's like part German Shepherd and part Red Setter. Beautiful dog. Yeah, me and Novocaine, not so much. It's like knock me out. That's why I just don't care for dentists in any way, shape, or form. And they're like, no, 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 no. I have to really have bad problems with my teeth to go to a dentist. And I'm about that way now with doctors. I have to have really something wrong before I go to the doctor. Don't trust them. I'd rather go look it up in a Wiccan book and make a homemade remedy. They seem to work better. And yes, I have done that. I've made some great stuff for coughs and sore throats and bruises. Yeah, I'm like, and then like my cat for some reason has decided she wants to be on the couch next to me, and she's all rolled up and has her face all contorted, and a lot of times she'll be up on the TV playing bongos with y'all as she watches the hands as they're diamond painting, and then she'll be up there going, I'm glad she don't have no claws. That could be a bad thing. She lost them whenever I walked in, and she's hanging off the. She was literally hanging on my curtains halfway up. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. So when she went in to get her girly parts taken care of, we just did it all at once. And I have a wonderful vet, and he kept her for 3 days so that she could have pain meds there. And so when she came home, she was past needing pain meds, and she was all fine. Just had to do the shredded paper for litter for another week. And of course, I live out here in the country, and we have this. I don't know what's his deal, but this weird kid. I know he's got some kind of mental problems that he developed after boxing, but he's not right. And he'll come up to people's house at 1 o'clock in the morning trying to bum cigarettes or have you. And I'd already told him that I don't smoke. And so one night at about, I guess it was about 11:30, he come up, and I was trying to ignore him, and he's like over there looking in the window, so he knew I was up. And so I went to the door, and my dog literally busted past me, busted the screen door open, jumped up on his back paws, and was standing taller than this guy. He's probably in his about 30, but he's always on drugs. But he was paw on each shoulder and was ready to bite his head. And so I pulled him off of him, and he said, I guess I need to go. And I told him, I said, I bet that's a good idea. And he hadn't shown up on my doorstep since. But I just found out yesterday that he because my brother lives in a little room that was built on the outside of my dad's house. And my dad, when my brother's home, would leave the outside door unlocked so that he could get in and out and, go to the bathroom during the night and whatever. My dad woke up the other night a couple of weeks ago, and that kid is standing in his bedroom and had flipped the light on. He's lucky it wasn't me, because I would have reached over and grabbed my gun and just shot him in the kneecap or something. But my dad was like, "No, you need to leave. You need to get out of my house." And he just thought he'd left, and he just rolled over and started to go back to sleep. And he started hearing him piddling around in the kitchen. And he was in the kitchen. And so my dad gets up, puts on his house coat, goes after him and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm trying to make me a cup of coffee and find something to eat." And I was like, "Oh my God, Dad." So now he done told my brother, he said, "You're just going to have to carry your key and keep your key with you, because I'm locking the door, whether you're home or not." I was just like, "Oh my Lord." So I guess my brother that night, because my, you know, brother heard my dad in there telling the guy to get out, and the guy wasn't listening. And so my brother called the law, and they came. And by the time they got here, the guy was down at his house, but they went down there and told him not to be up here no more. But that's pretty bad. And I know that the guy living in the RV said that he's been over there rifling through his place stealing stuff. So sometimes I let my big monster dog run around out front at night just to run him off. Yeah, they did call the cops on him. But I mean, as a woman living alone out in the middle, just about BFE, I wake up and there's some dude standing in my bedroom. That is not going to be a good thing, because you're liable to get shot. I mean, I could not, I was just blown away. Because that is something you just don't do. Dad said, "Yeah, all of a sudden my bedroom light come on, and he was just standing there." And he's an ex boxer that's lost his noggin, and he takes drugs all the time. Then one night he was down at my dad's house telling him that a giant snake was in front of his door, and it's 10 degrees. And my dad's like, "Yeah, snakes aren't out at this time." And he's like, "Oh, they're not?" He's like, "No, they're not." I mean, kind of strange. So I don't go out very often up that way. I kind of avoid it. We used to go walk to the front of the road, but I don't do that anymore. I mean, that's, could you imagine waking up out of a sound sleep in the middle of the night and some dude's just standing there? I'd be like, "Yeah, no, 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 no." So, Diamond Queen, how's your weather? Is your weather okay? No, this weather's crazy. And I imagine after that eruption the other day that it's going to affect all of our weather, because it's going to put that dust up in there, and we'll probably start getting colder for a while. And supposedly it put a lot of dust up in the atmosphere. I watched me an oldie but goodie movie last night. I watched Armageddon. Haven't seen that in a long time. And I'll be darned if I still didn't cry. That's one of those movies that always makes me cry. Armageddon does it. But it's a Oldie but goodie. Got a little Billy Bob in it and some Ben Affleck, Bruce Willis. I don't know what Rockhound's real name is, but got a little Rockhound. Looks like we're losing everyone. I guess they're starting to get ready to get off work or get to work. I might get off and make me some macaroni and cheese. Let me see, how long have I been on? I've been on for 50 minutes. I'll see if I can hang out for an hour. Yeah, my big dog, Jeremy, is about the size of Trapper. He's about 100 pounds, a little over 100 pounds. He's part pit bull and part mastiff. He's huge. Diamond, are you ready for the next marathon on Saturday after Jeremy? That's what I call it. I hung with her the other night, all night, till she got done. Was thinking one night I might do that, do like a 12-hour marathon, and just whoever comes in, they come in, out, and whatever. When I get done, I'll probably go back and work on my Haid for a couple of whipping chats. That's a couple days, because usually I do an hour whipping chat, and then I'll work for a few more hours. So I might just do a long, like a live, and just whoever comes in comes out, and work a couple out, a couple days on that. And then when this is done, I'll either do a craftably, or if my uniquely down under's in by then, I'll do it. Because that would be pretty awesome. One, I can either do the Petunia, oh, what is it? The one that has the Dog Mom cup, and I have the Cat Chloe, and and I have the fairy sitting on a flower, I believe it is. And I might do that one. I'll do that one. But that's really pretty. So it'll be one of it's either going to be Melody or one of those. And I'm thinking it might be the one with the wildflower. I could do my small Haid, but I don't think I have enough of that color. It was all in violets and. Well, hi, Luna. You got an eyeball at me? No, eyeball. See your eyeball? Now, the cat's gotten a whole lot more loving lately. Last night she curled up on me and had her head hanging off, and like, what's your deal? Usually you're trying to attack me. It goes from one range to the other, attack mode to I love you, Mom. Right now she's in the I love you, Mom. I want to be on the couch by you. But she can't be in my lap because my lap, the high board is, so she has to do with being beside me. And all my dogs are outside barking at something. I don't know what they're barking at. My son and my brother was like, we don't want your dog scaring all the deer off. So they moved my fence because it used to just attach to the house. Well, they moved it where it attached to the porch and enclosed the porch and put a gate up so that you can just let them out the back door, which I actually like that better. And they can just go in the yard. And that way they're not out and chasing cars and stuff. Late at night, I'll let them out because they're both big enough they can ward off the coyotes. I think my big one, which is Rocky, yeah, I thought he was going to go get one because the coyote, I saw it on camera and I just died laughing. That coyote walked straight up to that dog's tree, hiked its leg, peed on the tree, looked at the house, like, do something about it. I mean, I was just like, really? Do something about it? I was like cracking up. But he did. He literally hiked his tree, and that was hilarious. And then I've actually got, my brother had a game camera out. It's a little bit up my backyard in the woods. And we got a video of him sitting there terrorizing a bear. My dad was like, I could hear it over my house. I wasn't sure who was going to win. He said, you could hear that bear just growling and making all kinds of noise. And then you'd hear Rocky going nuts. And he said, I wasn't sure who was going to be the outcome winner on that one, bear against dog. But I guess the dog won because he's still here. But that was like, ooh. And it's pretty close to the house. So, like, when it starts getting dark and stuff, I tell the kids to don't be near the woods. Don't want no bear coming up and snatching them. I know we got bobcats out there because I had my daughter's dog for a while, and a bobcat grabbed it by its leg and was dragging it off into the woods. And I ended up having to take that poor dog to the vet and get, I don't know how many stitches. And he goes, oh, he got drugged down the asphalt. And I looked at him and I said, we don't live near any asphalt. I said, he was found in the woods. That's all from being drugged. I love that asphalt. No. Okay. Yeah, we're there. Okay. Everybody, thank you for coming. Diamond Queen, Jeremy, Rose, Jenny, Nana. Come again. Hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you'll know when I go live or upload. Come hang with me anytime you feel like it. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.